Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to today's Sunday Playbook. How y'all doing today, y'all?
Hey, man, no sleep, but I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
No
I'm
sleep
here.
till Brooklyn, bro.
I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Hoodie on, my shadowy super coater look, stack
Okay.
pack.
So for everybody that's joining us, listen, every Sunday, or just about every Sunday, we're on and we're going to talk about our option plays for the week and other investment plays we might see
Yes.
for the upcoming week as well. So we got Corey and Jimmy in the room. I'm just here for technical support.
Here he go. I do want to say this though. If you're watching this, and you're probably watching this on a replay because it is early in the morning on Sunday, make sure to go to blackwealthrebels.com and join our village because this class right here, I don't know how much is going to be on our this live streaming sites before. It will just be for our village, right? Because we are building a community in the village. In order to get access to this and other things coming, pause, that you may have to just join the village. So we have different tiers. We have different tiers in the village, free tier, paid tier. Shout out to all the paid members. The paid members definitely got something special coming your way because I saw we got a couple folks sign up yesterday. And it's all appreciated, man. Everything's going back to the streets, man. We're going to feed the people, man. So blackwealthrebels.com is the website. Let's get it popping, man. We're here for a good time, not a long time. You know what I'm saying? So, Corey,
all the things.
Dr. Chaz is in the building. Everybody's
Chaz.
Hey.
Listen, man. Shout out to Dr. Chaz. Dr. Chaz is someone who I look to learn, and Chaz is dope, man. And she be rumbling Spy every day just like I do. Shout out to Carlos, man. Carlos just joined. Listen, man. Appreciate the support, Carlos. It's definitely love. Yeah, man. How you want to get started today, Corey? You want to go first? Or want me to go first? Because
I'm going right through. I gotta do a little. Remember, this is not our normal options crew, so we got to do a little teaching first.
But here's what I'll say is, in terms of that, we should probably just do a teaching class that's not this, right? We probably should do an actual class for beginners.
All right. I'm just saying, I just do my screener first, and then I go to the chart.
Okay, well, let's go. Let's get it. Let's go right into it then. Let's show you.
So this basic screener.
Oh, real quick, not to step on your point, I just want to make sure I give some context for the folks that don't know. FinViz is a free website, right? It's finviz.com for those who don't know. And what Corey is getting ready to show you is how he looks up and finds the plays that he wants to make by using a screener. And for those who don't know what a screener is, he's just screening certain companies using technical and fundamental analysis to find what play he wants to make. I just want to give that context, Corey, because some people think you got to pay for some of this stuff. And FinViz is free.
Free.com. So my screener is not even technical or fundamental. It's just basically looking at big companies and seeing which ones had some volume. So
you do realize that is fundamental. That's exactly.
You're right. On here it doesn't say fundamental, it says descriptive.
Yeah, but the descriptives are technical.
They have descriptive fundamentals. They are fundamentals.
Yeah.
Average volume on these, I want to be high, so over 2 million. Then the volume relative to the stock normal stock, time and a half to the normal stock, and I want to make sure that it's optionable. What is going on? Why is this joint acting crazy? Why is FinViz acting like this? What is going on?
Oh, Corey been on some other sites that got some
FinViz me, so they not what? They got the pum pum.
Yeah, I think you must have been on some pun sites that put some little software in your computer or something, man. Hey, Champ, I see a comment. Kamari, pull that Champ comment up. What's up, Champ?
Yo.
And Champ, why didn't you tell us ahead of time you was gonna be in the city, man? Like I've been running around like crazy. I'd have got up with you, pause, but I don't know how long you gonna be here.
All right, so basically, this is the screener, and basically it's just checking for things that ran off or fell off. Right. So if you look over here at volume, all these are high volume stocks, which means you can get in and out of them at your will. You don't have to wait on nothing. And then there's more of them. So that was the page one. Why is this joint jumping around like this?
Because there's ads popping up.
I guess they want me to. Yeah, but it's FinViz ads. So these are companies up. UNH is back on the rise, I see. So, like, I would look at this. It gives you a chart with every one of them. And now it's not going to show the chart because it's going to show the ad. What is going on, FinViz? They really don't like. What is going on?
Corey, you gotta learn. You gotta set your screener up on a trading view because the FinViz is drawing.
But it's not the same now.
No, it can be.
Well, you wanted to show me that.
Yeah, if you know how to set us, it's a whole thing on trading view in order to set up screen.
No. I've looked at it, but I'll say that I don't like it as much as I like the one in FinViz. But I've been using FinViz forever, so.
Oh my goodness, this is crazy. But this is how I would set it up because I'm about to come off of FinViz, because it's acting shady. But this is where I would normally come to look at companies in FinViz, and then I would take some of these companies in FinViz and stick them in my screener on TradingView. If it would stop acting crazy. This TELUS Corporation fell off a cliff. United Health. I'm interested in that. So UNH is a ticker symbol I'm going to look at. I'm just going to take a look at like 2 or 3 of these. I'm going to look at UNH, probably AMD, because I see AMD on here. What is going on? I'm going to look at UNH, AMD.
So let's back up 1 second for a minute while your computer's loading, Corey. Last Sunday, you gave some great plays. And I just looked up Google. So last week, the Google was the 180s, right? The March 21st 180s, right?
The March 180s. Yep.
Right. So when you gave that call, and I'm just looking at the options contract, it was $9.31. On Friday, it closed at $20. So that was a hell of a play.
You could have paid for a lot of things with that.
Correct. So I just wanted to highlight that you got to take advantage of these joints when they get called immediately.
And by the way, I want to put this out there too, real quick.
This is not investment advice.
It's for educational and informational purposes only. This is not investment advice. The Sunday Playbook is us talking about what we're looking at in this upcoming week in the market, right? So we're going to come on here. We're going to talk about like some of the trades or investments because Mario is right. I don't want to make it just about trading. It's literally a playbook. And we're going to give insight to how we, look at the market during the course of the week. So that is the Sunday Playbook. But Corey just gave you how he uses a screener. And now, Corey, you want to, share something else based on, what you saw?
Yeah, I'm about to go to TradingView because I gotta get off of FinViz. FinViz is acting absolutely crazy. Why is my internet acting so slow right now?
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, looking up a little bit of ebony content got you.
My computer. I don't even open my computer, so it ain't no ebony content on.
Listen, man, we gotta support the creators, man. My thing is, if that's what you just make sure it's ebony, man. As long as you ain't got no other category selected, we good.
Listen, man, I'm seeing creators on those sites talk about crypto.
Hey, listen, man, that's support all Black creators, man. Support Black creators, man. I'm all about supporting Black creators.
So, Dr. Chaz, we need to talk. I need to talk to you like ASAP.
All right,
Chaz, we need to come back to the Patreon and bless our folks, man, as we get everything organized and set up with the Black Wealth Rebels, man. We need Dr. Chaz back there, man. But yo, Corey, you ready, bro?
Yeah, I'm trying to share it. My internet acting stupid and slow. All
All
right,
right, tell me, Core, what I can do. I'll pull up my trading view if you want, or my
no.
All right, well, let's go.
Chaz says she's ready.
I'm gonna have my chart on there, and it's gonna make me feel weird to have you trying to run the chart while I'm trying to talk. So, all right, it's shared. Can you see it?
Yep, you see it.
All right. So this is the Tarjay play, and I always enter on the 4-hour chart. Like I said, the Tarjay play, we started here on Friday, on Monday. And if you played the Tarjay play was 140 March. You still can get into that because it dropped.
That's the core. That's actually my play. That's actually I didn't even realize you gave target. Like the target is my play today, but I'm gonna give you my logic behind the target play.
All right. It fell off during earnings.
No, yeah, but I got a lot more to add to that. I didn't even see what y'all did last Sunday. But
all right. But I'll come back to Tarjay. So I said I was gonna look at AMD
and UNH. UNITY. That's for Unity.
UNITY. Oh. AMD looks to be consolidating and falling and consolidating.
Champ. Sorry, I saw Champ's question. Yes, we got a Patreon now. It's blackwealthrebels.com. You see it scrolling on the bottom of the screen. We do have a Patreon, and we have different tiers too. Go sign up because, listen, I tell people to get the paid tier because we got extra content for them, but I don't understand that, for some folks, they can't do that. But, in that case, get the free tier. But just make sure you sign up because you get early access and extra access calls on our Patreon. But blackwealthrebels.com is the Patreon. Brianna, good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, so, UNH looks to be continuously falling off a cliff, but it looks like it's about to is making a return.
That's the company where the CEO got clapped up, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Core, are you looking for that to bounce or to continue to fall?
Here I'm looking for it to continue to fall. I don't see any consolidation on my 4-hour chart, so I wouldn't touch this. Like for me, I just wait for the signal. Like last week, that's why the plays I gave last week, I just wait. I wait for my signal, which is when my red line starts to go straight. That tells me that we about to get a reversal, and my red line hasn't gone straight. So basically, we can go back to Tarjay for Jim because he said that's his play for the week.
Yeah, I gotta I'll share my screen in a second and give you my analysis of target.
All right, because I'm going. Well, then if you're gonna share your screen, I'm gonna look through my screener and see something that
So you don't like AMD?
I don't like AMD or UNH.
Right.
I don't like the way those look.
Kamari. Let me share a couple things, man, because a couple of these joints.
Real quick, hold on, Jim. Core, you don't like a put play for UNH?
No, because I think it's starting to consolidate, but I'm not sure. Yeah, they trying to sell me stuff too. I got the free version. When you got the free version of stuff, boy.
Hey, it's free game, man.
Yeah, they coming for my neck. Pause. PD FDX. I like this FedEx. I like the way this is looking on the return going into earnings.
All right, so
go ahead, Jim. You put yours up. Your
screen. My screen for a second, Corey. So I got a couple things I want to share. A couple tools that I use, right? So I don't know if everyone knows, but who Benjamin Graham is. He's Warren Buffett's OG. So in reading The Intelligent Investor, I took his formula and I put it in a program, like, basically an Excel sheet to kind of like give me an idea. So
Jim is doing value analysis now.
Yes, but to make a long story short, I've actually been working on this in a minute. I'm trying to build a web app, right? And my web app is going to be all about valuation, right? So I'm taking different people's approaches. So this is the Benjamin Graham. So instead of having an actual chart, I literally set it up where I can just put in a ticker symbol. So I was looking at UNH, and if anyone knows how Benjamin Graham formula works, it's all about the intrinsic value of a company based upon the amount of money that it's earning and its growth rate. So UNH, according to the Benjamin Graham theory, the intrinsic value of that company is at about $8.75 a share. Its current price is $5.20, and it's acceptable to buy at $5.68.89 because he has a margin of safety of 65%, which means that you're buying at 65% of the intrinsic value, right? So on a long-term buy and hold, it's saying that UNH is actually there. It's fallen off a cliff ever since what happened, but it's saying based upon the earnings of that company, there's intrinsic value there. Now, if I look at something like AMD, right, and I hit the program, it's going to tell me that right now AMD is a sell. The intrinsic value is about $63 based on earnings. It's currently at 126. So, so on and so forth. Now, this is just one thing I'll look at, right? So I put TGT in here, which is Target. It says Target, based on the earnings of Target, the intrinsic value of Target is $537.19, and it's currently trading for 134. So according to the Graham theory of valuation, Target is severely underpriced. Now, this is used to make long-term buy and holds, not necessarily trade, but I look at it because it can give me an idea of where the value is within a company, and I would like to trade something that has this kind of value. It's saying that Target, from a long-term buy and hold standpoint, is acceptable to buy all the way up to $349.18, and it's only trading at $134.52. So based upon the money that Target makes, based upon the growth rate of Target consistently, and also just comparing it to what the bonds are currently yielding, Target is an extreme buy. So, and just to give you guys an idea, let me make sure you can see this when I share this. I've been working on like a couple different things. So this chart right here is for real estate. It's also part of the software I'm building out, and it gives you, you put in a property, put in certain characteristics of a property, and it will tell you what the value of said property is based on the income of that property. I also got a pro forma where you put in the property and it tells you what a monthly cash flow is based upon the information that you put in. So a couple things that I'm trying to automate and program and then include AI with it, but this is just the early workings of it, but they do work. So that's one thing I wanted to share. Now,
hold on, Joe, we got a request.
Yes.
Dr. Chaz wanted to see if you put sound in, what it will come up with.
Let's see. You
gotta reshare your screen.
Yeah, you took it off.
That's what she said. It's waiting for you to put up there, Kamari.
Oh, there it is.
All right. So now you said SOUN.
That's like a sound hound, right?
So according to this, sound is a sell right now. Now
that should be in red.
So the thing about it is, when the app is done, that's what's going to happen. But it's saying that the intrinsic value is, negative, a negative intrinsic value. Understand this though, Chaz. His valuation methodology is not necessarily built for a time with tech stocks and how tech stocks tend to run. But there's still value here because it's conservative. So you kind of protect yourself by looking at things like this, because he's saying that the value of a company is based on its intrinsic value, not necessarily speculation. It's based on what you're actually earning, right? And Sound has negative earnings per share. They don't make money. So this is really for a long-term standpoint. So from a long-term standpoint, he's saying that right now is the time to sell.
Right. So, but to your point, Jim, she's looking at the January 17th, $20 strike price.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't what Graham was talking about.
Not at all. His is from a long-term standpoint, like a buy and hold type standpoint. What is the company earning, and what is the value of the earnings of said company? So let me stop sharing that for a second, because I want to share something else with you. Now, this is something that's like really early in its prototype, but me and another data scientist have been working on this, and I'm gonna share it with you guys just because you're here this morning. You know what I'm saying? And y'all, next time y'all see this is gonna be completely different. But this is really early prototype. So there's a book out there, right? The book is called Intrinsic, written by Mike Wynn, and I've been promoting that book probably for the last year or so. and it's about a specific way to treat options trading by using leaps. But what I did was I took a lot of the fundamentals and theories of that book and put it into a program, right? So what I can do is I can put in a ticker symbol, and based upon that ticker symbol, it will give me a leap that meets the criteria of that strategy, which is your break even of your contract has to be about 5% above the current stock price. It's a little bit more to it, a little bit more nuance to it, but that's a simplified way of putting it. So I put a target into this program, and it gave me a bunch of 2027s. Now, this is for someone that is, has a little bit more money to invest. But the way I have it set up, I can look at 2026s. Let's see. So there's a bunch of 2026s as well. But I like to go as far out as possible. So I'm looking at 2027s. Now, this will put a lot of time on your contract, but this can print money for you. So it says that these specific target contracts, and here's what the options chain will show you for those contracts that expire, January 15, 2027 at these strike prices. The cheapest one being $5,495 for one contract. Right? The next one being $6,000. That's why I said this specific strategy right here for target is for someone with a little bit more chicken. But the reason I like buying leaps like this is because if I put $6,000 into it, right, and I make 10%, that's $600. That's someone's part-time job that I make just getting 10%, which is not difficult to do with a company like Target, right? But also, this is out to 2027. We're in 2024 December. I have a couple years for my analysis to play itself out. I buy these and let them print. These act. So when I buy leaps like this is the equivalent of me buying a rental property, right? It's a little bit cheaper though. It may take me 20, 30,000 to get into a rental the way I want to, right? If I take 20, 30,000, I can have 3 of these contracts, and I'm going to make more on these contracts than you will renting your property. But that's either here nor there. But I wanted to show this software because let me check what sound looks like and see if sound falls within the parameters, right? So I'll have to come here because this is pulling and I'm not trying to talk over anyone's head. I can further dig into detail in the Patreon on this because this is pulling from open APIs. And in order to change the ticker symbol, I come in here and I put the new ticker in. SOUN, boom, right? That's why I said this is fairly new because the way I'm going to program this is I'm trying to put it into an app where you literally just put a ticker symbol in it. It does everything that I'm doing kind of like not manually, but kind of right now. All right, convert to a table. So now that's sound. All right, close and load. All right, so now I just hit refresh on my application. And it's telling me whether sound has any contracts that fall within those parameters of leaps. And they don't.
And what are the parameters again, Jim?
So this is looking for something that's a leap, right? And it's looking for something that the break-even point is only 5% of its current trading price, right?
You said only 5%, right?
5%. 5%.
Okay.
This is based on a theory that is taught in the book Intrinsic. Actually, so it just refreshed. It does have a couple in January. Now, these are a little bit cheaper. So if you believe that, this can work. And see, this is a little bit different than the Graham theory because this isn't buy and hold. This is strictly leaps. This is for leaps.
And explain to everybody what leaps are, Jim.
So leaps are not, to simplify a leap is a longer term option play. So you're looking anywhere from 12 to 24 to 36 months out. So right now we're looking at 2027s. This is January 2027s is the furthest you can go out to buy a contract on this specific company, which is Sound, which is what Chassis was talking about. So a leap is just, kind of longer term. That's to simplify it.
Is this anything over a year?
Yes. So the thing is, I like leaps because if you have some sort of study that you've done, you're giving yourself more time to be right. And also if you buy this, you're buying it with intrinsic value, which means that a lot of times when you buy these leaps I'm talking about here, you're buying them in the money. And if you're buying them in the money, they can kind of become like machines. The LEAP is an acronym, long-term equity anticipation security, right? So
Correct.
That's the acronym of LEAP for those who don't know. And again, we're going to do a lot of 101 and training and things like that for options and stocks within the group. because we're kind of just like off to the races. But I did want to share some of these things that show folks like some of the things I'm working on and some of the analysis that I'm doing for this target play. So target has leaps that it falls for. It falls under the Graham theory of intrinsic value. And now let me share one more thing. And this is why I was like so gung-ho on target, because I'm looking to target and all these various things that I'm doing. Jay is in the building. Hey Jay, I'm gonna shoot you a message today. I gotta get with you, beloved. I definitely gotta get with you, Jay, because I got some questions. I need your help with something. But shout out our brother Jay. So now I'm looking at target just on my chart that I do. And my chart is simplified. So I do, and I've looked at, and shout out to Chaz. Chaz helped me with a lot of my analysis. Chaz taught me how to use the Ichimoku screener. Jay and Pass are probably Jay, Pass, and Tone and Spoon. Those brothers probably told me more about trading than anybody. But what I settled on over the last couple of years, and it's been truly successful for me, is doing what's known as like mean reversion trading, where I'm just looking at where the average is, and when things fall from the average, look for it to go up or down. Now, with that being said, target, if I go back, Core, to your point you made earlier around earnings, and you see earnings was here, it fell based on earnings, right? But we all know that the actual market is kind of emotional. If you look at the intrinsic value of target, which I actually showed you, it probably shouldn't have fell as hard as it fell, but that's how the market is. So it's been creeping its way back up a little bit, and it got just to where the average is. So now I'm looking at where's the next earnings, right? So let me go out to a weekly chart.
And so, Jim, when you talk about reverting back to the mean, your theory is that everything reverts back to the mean, right?
That's one of the first things they teach you in statistics. Yep. You know what I mean? Everything reverts back to the mean, right? Eventually, over time. So I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at it to get to the mean now. And I feel like because it's still truly undervalued, that eventually it will go up. Now, I still will put a little bit of time on this trade too. I probably will look at the March contracts. If you want to, not spend as much as getting a leap. I'm looking at getting a leap. I might put $6,000 up and buy a leap in Target, but that gives me a couple of years. But I understand that everybody doesn't have that kind of capital. So if you want to take a shorter play, I will look at the March contracts. And let me pull the March contracts up now and tell you what they're going for.
Yeah, that's the play that I did last week, Jim.
Is that the exact date too?
The March 21st.
Ain't that a bit? Me and Corey, great minds think alike, bro.
That's the play we did last week.
So I went in that long circle just to get back to what Corey already told you, huh?
Yep. But Corey had the 140s.
Okay, so that's not bad either. I would go anywhere between 135. Let's see. Let me go out to the to March.
We was at 130 last week. I went out to 140 for March.
Okay, so let's see. March, and that's the exact contract I had on here too, bro. That's dope. March 21st, 2025. I would go anywhere from 135 to even as high as possibly 150, to be honest with you. Because
it's gonna go.
Yes, that to simplify it, yeah, what he said. And again, not investment advice. I'm just telling you my analysis, what I'm looking at, the different things that I do. Now, and you see this still has room to go on a weekly chart to get to
where's the white line at? What's the number on the white line?
Looks like it's about 150.
The number on the white line right here, and this is on the weekly chart, is 145.80 is the white.
Yeah, we got above
that. So now if you look at where we were before the fall off, let me go back to the daily chart. Right before earnings, we was all the way up here. We was already at 156, right?
And that's space.
That's a lot of space and there's a lot of chicken to be made.
Spaces and opportunities.
Yes, and you got to own your time and space. Now, last thing I do want to share is, taking my brother's approach, just looking at everything. It's looking at everything. We're going to look at the good old FinViz, Corey's favorite site.
It is.
Well, I don't think that's you. I think that's his FinViz tripping this morning because
yours is acting the same way.
There you go, Kamari. See if you can pull that chart up, the FinViz chart is pulled up. A little bit, not like yours was. Yours was going bunkers. You know what I'm saying? Yours was based on Ebony BBW videos, but mine was still acting a little crazy. But anyway,
all my girls like.
so even if I look,
ooh, that's consolidation. Look at all of those lines. When all of those lines start touching, the price about to go way up or way down.
So you see what I'm looking at here too. You see that gap, right? That gap still has to be filled. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be filled this week, but that's why I said go out to March at least. And now with the leaps, I'm giving myself a lot of time right there. But also, I mean, holiday season's coming up. I could make a gazillion reasons for this to be a great play. And I've looked at all the different software that I've built, other people's strategies, all that kind of stuff. And everything leads to Target being a great buy right now. As a buy and hold, by the way, you know, I showed y'all this, you know, what the program said for that, but also as an options play. So Target is what I'll be following this week, you guys. I'm looking anywhere between 135 and even 150 to get into a play. More than likely, I'll be going at 27, but I wouldn't mind doing some March contracts too. Might do both. And by the way, Dina, I saw Dina's comment too. Shout out to Dina, man. Dina came through on a Friday show and showed love. So we appreciate you, Dina. Thank you so much. She said those in the money leads are great for selling calls against them during the pullbacks. Absolutely. All right. So for those who don't know, you can actually sell covered calls multiple ways. One is by owning 100 shares of a company, and you can sell calls against them. But you can also sell calls against your leap. That's a more advanced thing, but Dina's on it because that's absolutely a game changer.
Because it guarantees you to make money.
Yeah, well, it depends, but yes, it gives you a higher probability. But what I'll say is this, though, I haven't really done a lot of selling calls lately because I got tired of my contracts and my shares being pulled away from me. Because again, if my analysis is right in terms of where I believe something is going, so right now. I'm sitting on a bunch of MicroStrategy leaps and Riot leaps. I just sold Riot leaps last week. I'll share that on Patreon. I just sold a bunch of leaps I had in Riot. And if Corey remembers, when we were doing under our previous group, we were doing like options plays. I was giving Riot leaps out in like December of 2023, right? So I was buying like 2025s. Right now, I'm sitting on a bunch of 2026s. I haven't gotten to 2027s yet because I was trying to wait for a little pullback. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because if I'm right in my analysis, like by buying MicroStrategy leaps back in like 2022, why would I sell them now? Like you know what I'm saying? I'm over 500% in profit. So I wouldn't want to sell any calls against them because MicroStrategy's been going one way. And shout out to MicroStrategy for getting added to the to QQQ. That's big. So that's the only thing with selling against your leaps because you got to be careful with that. And we'll get into that in the future because that's more of an advanced strategy. But just keeping it simple, like, you know, I believe in keeping things simple, even if I showed you all that. Target is basically just showing everywhere as a buy and hold, as a trade. You know, I'm about to go there today and cop some stuff too. You know, I mean, I need some candles and whatnot. So, you know, I shop at Target too. So shop at Target for that.
But Jimmy, for Target, we're looking at the 150.
Anywhere between, I would look at range, anywhere between 135 to 150, March 21st.
Well, what contract? What contract are you looking at?
Anywhere between $135 strike price up to 150 if you want to go as high as 150.
And this is for March.
What you got?
Yeah,
and this is for the March 21st.
March 2025. Now let me pull up my other my leap. I'll give y'all a leap too in case somebody got a couple dollars and y'all you know. Y'all looking to print some chicken. Let me pull those back up, and I'll give you the date on those too. But those are for 2027. Let me change my ticker here. Yeah, man. Wait, listen, man. When I put this app together, y'all gonna be like, yo, it's gonna be like plug and play. It's just taking me a little bit of time to get it. Because I showed Corey, I showed you some of this early in when I was first started making it.
Man, yeah, Jim had these joints for years. Man.
Yeah, but I've been working, and now it's like I've been cashing out on them. Like it's how I found some of the other ones. So let me see PPT. I'm like, all right, let's see, real quick. Come on, I just want to I'll share my screen as I do this too, so everybody not sitting here like, what the hell is he doing? I am pulling up. Here it is. My other software I showed y'all. So I was just upgrading it to Target. All right, there you go. And refresh. So I'm just waiting for Target to be refreshed. Again, this is pulling from open APIs, which is why it's taking a little bit of time to show. I'm using data that's publicly available to create this. Now, here you go. Boom. These are the contracts. The cheapest one being $5,495. 115-2027. These are the contracts right here, strike prices and everything. So the bid and ask 53.40, and it's also a tight spread too to be that far out. So January 15th, 2027, strike price of $85. Now you're saying, why would it do a strike price of $85 when you were just talking about anywhere between $135 and $150? That's because this is based on a specific strategy from the book Intrinsic, where you buy deep in the money leaps. Because when you're buying deep in the money leaps, that's where the idea of buying intrinsic value comes from. So we can go as far as buying $65 strike prices if you got that kind of change. That's about $7,300. If you got $7,300 that you got to, and again, not investment advice, you could look at this $65 strike price, January 2027 leap, and just put that in your account and just go chill. That's going to be an employee for you. That's what I said. And that's the idea, right? And the one thing I do want to say, because we got to make sure that we preach fundamentals. And the reason I talk about that is because first thing I tell people when they want to get into this side of the game is learn to save money. You got to learn to save money before you do anything. If you don't have money saved, you shouldn't be doing any of this. Like literally.
Why not? Why?
Because, and I know that a lot of people out there like, no, you got to do this. You got to run the play. You got that. Nah, that's not where we're at with it. When we talk about black wealth, we talk about it holistically. We can get into the specific instruments, which is what the Sunday show is for. A lot of our other content is, about community and culture. But I want to make sure that we stay consistent with our message, which is you got to learn the fundamentals first. You got to make sure you got some savings and do all the things, because even though I trade literally every day, like literally, my foundation is set. And by having a foundation set, I can
that's what allows you to trade every day.
That's what allows me to trade every day. I literally budget for trading, right? So we talk about, the pie of where your investments are. My investments, I told you I got 3 holdings that's probably 90%. Then I got a couple other like straggler individual stocks that me and my wife got together. But then I got like 5% that I just use to trade with. I call my speculation bucket. I have a bucket just for speculation. That's outside of the trick bucket, by the way. You know what I'm saying? The spirit's still within me. But I got a bucket just for speculation.
Jimmy got a ladies of the night bucket.
Yo, Kamari is trying to create a narrative on me, Core.
Then listen, you started that.
As a joke, but it's all good though.
It's still a joke. It's
all good because they good people.
I'm mind my business,
and they're some of the best investors and traders, by the way.
For sure.
So I've heard. But here's what I'll say. All right, getting back to what we're talking about. See, this is the problem. When I come on with my brothers, we got jokes always, even when we trying to be serious. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure that we put that message out there that you got to have a plan. Shout out to Dom Killer, who's in the building, right? Who says you got to have a business plan. And shout out to my brother Pass, too. Pass always talks about this. If you're not treating, you're investing and trading like a business, then what are you actually doing, right? You got to learn to allocate money, but you got to protect yourself, man. Like they tell you when you're in the boxing ring, man. Protect yourself at all times, right? Which is why even with our trades, we have a stop loss. If a trade goes against you, and the stop loss we traditionally use is 20%. Once you get 20% down, cut and run. Even if you need to reposition in the same play, make sure you have a stop loss, So, protecting your capital is very important. But learning to save is probably the most important thing you could do. When it comes to investing, trading, I don't care if we're talking about Bitcoin, Dom's talking about Forex. I think the biggest skill set is learning to save. The richest man in Babylon laid the game out quite flat with that. Every dollar you make, a portion of that is yours to keep. You know what I'm saying? I got a Forex account right now. That I got like a couple grand in, and I don't even trade Forex. It's something I'm trying to learn, right? So, I've been trying to learn from folks within our community how to get better at it. But right now, I'm just saving. So learning to save is key. So then when I'm ready to actually start making moves in that space, I got money saved already. I'm not using leverage. You know what I'm saying? I'm not using margin. I'm not using credit. I'm using cash already saved. I know Kamari likes to hear that because Kamari is big on cash is king. So, but having cash to do things with is a makes it easier, right? I don't gotta worry. What did Charlie Munger say, man? He said he said ladies, leverage, and liquor. The 3 L's that get you all the time. Be careful with the 3 L's, man. Ladies, leverage, and liquor. So, just be careful out there, yo. That's all.
Real quick, I would love to get both of you to give perspective on this, on Don's question. Can we treat the stock market as Forex market?
I have an opinion. Carl, if you want to weigh in on this.
Yeah, you can, because all markets are move, right? Is the thing about the stock market, the Forex market, all of that stuff. Like, if you were here on our show last week, Jim just basically just said the same thing I said last week again. The easy I didn't talk about savings, but I said the easiest way to win is to not lose. You know what I mean? So we talked about a strategy last week where you can lose 80% of the time and still make money, because it's not about being right, it's about being rich. And
now, here's what I'll add to that. Like, so I would say I understand what Corey's saying, he's right, but I will also say no. And here's why I say no too, because although from a technical standpoint, yes, he's right. So if you understand how things move and what makes them move, yes. But the thing about the stock market is, and I think this gets lost in stocks all the time. I hear people like, I bought stocks, right? Stock represents ownership of a company.
Correct.
Right? So when you talk about ownership of a company, what can make a company rise, fall, or you know what I mean? Like, Forex has certain things that happen in their market, but they don't necessarily have like an earnings call, right? Where, a CEO gets clapped up and then all of a sudden your stock falls off a cliff, right?
Well, they got interest rate cuts. But what I'm talking about is just like narrative. Stock market sometimes moves off narratives and not necessarily macroeconomics or anything economic, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, something will happen within a company where an executive will get caught doing whatever it may be, and that can affect the value of a company. Like, so stocks are ownership in companies. And I think it's important to keep that in mind as an investor and as a trader, right? So when you buy an options, you're buying a derivative, but it's still backed by whatever happens within that specific company. So I think that's the little difference in the nuance there from a technical standpoint. And I know some people only care about technicals. If they see their chart going one way or the other way, and that's kind of what Corey was talking about. That's why I said Corey's not wrong, because the same thing can be applied to anything. I was looking at my brother Pass the other day. He was charting the Hawks game. I'm like, yo, he was actually charting a basketball game. He looked at it on a chart though. Like, all right, this holds up, this trend line holds up, but we going this way. I was like, yo, he's talking about basketball. So if you understand charting, you can look at it one specific way, but also when you look at the stock market, in my personal opinion, it's important to understand fundamentals. I even tell my technical folks, you got to understand a little bit about fundamentals, because your technicals could be 100% correct, but something from a fundamental standpoint happens and it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? CEO get caught in a scandal, the ladies of the night,
human trafficking or something, right? You know what I'm saying? You're going to see your candles turning you real fast, right? So it's like, just keep in mind what a stock is, because that kind of drives me crazy. I bought stocks, and it's like, they look at it as being something that's not what it is, which is, equity in a company.
What you got, Corey? Is that it? You agree?
Oh, you muted? Corey, your mic went out. Pause.
You got to unmute your mic, Corey.
Protect your capital.
Yeah.
That's it. Pretty much. Protect your capital in the way you know how to protect your capital, right? We protect ours with a stop loss and by, being right more than we wrong.
Also, you protect it by not getting in certain trades too. Sometimes
no revenge. The thing about it is most traders are right 50, 60, 70% of the time. But it's just that when they lose, they let the whole thing just go. And you can't do that if you want to make money. This is about making money, and you got to treat it like, again, back to the question, when are you going to get serious about what you're doing? Because you got to be serious about making money. You know what I mean? Like,
You think 40 said I experienced? I felt like he was clapping at me, but the old me, because I'm better now. But revenge trading is in my past. Like I've been through that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Listen, I don't revenge trade.
Jim did that, so hopefully you don't have to go through that.
Yeah, man.
I did that.
All go through that,
man. Because here's what he's talking. He's talking about the psychology, right? And the psychology of money, the psychology of trading, the psychology and all this stuff is important because in the past, right? I'll say it in my past, I would lose a trade and then spaz out, and I'm trying to rumble the market, so I need to get back what I lost, right? Even last week, I still struggle at times with being greedy. The greed monster is what kills me the most in 2024. It's not being wrong, it's being greedy. I had a trade last week. I was up. This was a day trade. I was up 38%, and I was like, let me get 40, right? No lie. I say about 5 minutes, I was down 30%. Now, I ended up cashing out at about 18%. This is trading SPY. And, I'll be trading SPY on most days. And by the way, if you're in the Patreon, I was telling Kamar, I got to figure out how to use the chat in there. I'm going to start putting when I enter trade. I'll just go put it in there. Like, I'm not giving y'all advice. This is what I'm doing, so y'all can actually see. I like to share, share my receipts, but I don't like to put them out there on the World Wide Web because it's not about bragging and it's not about any of those things. But if folks is in the village, you know what I'm saying? The village get different access. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. Join the village. Go to blackwealthrebels.com. You know what I'm saying? Sign up for the free. But, yeah, man. So that's what it is.
So, Jimmy, it sounds like you need to listen to the great prophet Earl Simmons. Stop being greedy.
Yeah, man. You've been eating long enough now. Stop being greedy. Just keep it real, partner. Rib to the knee. Ribs touching. Make me wait. Listen, so it's absolutely true, though. The psychology of this stuff is the most difficult part. As we go down this journey, though, with the Sunday Playbook, we're going to dig into a lot of those different things. Only thing I'm saying this week, for me at least, Target right now is just looking, juicy. It's looking like, a nice New York strip. You know what I mean? Maybe a ribeye. You know what I'm saying? I like my medium. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need a little bit of pink. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just
sexy.
That's what Target's looking like right now, man. Like a nice.
Okay, so Jim, you got Target, the March contracts. Corey, Did you have something else?
All right, so I'm looking at a few of these things, and it looked like the market want to give us puts. So I'm looking at square puts. Put some time on it. Give it put a few weeks to a month on it. So I wouldn't do anything that doesn't start with February or January. Because like I said, I don't like for my money to be burning. Like if it goes sideways for a few days or a week or two, I want to still be able to cash out. So I always give mine time, just in case it goes sideways. Because if it go against me, my stop loss is going to save me. But if it goes sideways, I still want to get paid out when it goes the direction where I want to get paid at. So that's why I generally put a lot of time on my contracts. Yep. I don't like losing on sideways contracts.
And that's exactly why I said at least March for Target, because Corey said it looks like the market's giving us puts. It's like if the market overall drops, I still got time to be right. You know what I'm saying? Like theta is not going to kill me. And theta, is diminishing your contract value.
Over time, the closer it gets to the expiration, the more the value of the contract diminishes. That's what the theta is. Yeah,
which is one of the Greeks. And side note, I'm not trying to get too crazy with the technicals, but I know a lot of people dig way deep in the technicals. This is me personally, I use 2 technicals and don't care about the rest. That's me, myself, personally. Delta and theta, and that's pretty much it. And we can get into that at a later date. Yo, Dom out here on this Billy Ray Valentine right now. Capricorn. You see Dom's last question, Kamari, in the chat?
I want to know how much money Dom got. He out here trading future market.
So the future markets they're not more expensive than the regular markets. They're exactly the same.
My man Dom said he out here like Billy Ray Valentine, Capricorn. But no, I don't. I've looked into it. I don't. And the reason I don't, Dom, is very, very simple. It's also the reason why I really haven't dug deep into the Forex, although I've set up an account and I'm just literally just funding it at this point. And I don't even know if I ever will get into it because I'm so big on simplicity. Although according to what I see Wolfgang Puck say. So sometimes like creating and making things simple is the most difficult, right? It's the most challenging. And I say that though because I understand the options market, and even within the options market, I don't trade everything. For the most part, I'm trading real estate and Bitcoin because that's my two obsessions anyway. Now, certain things will pop up in front of me, like Target did, looking through all my various softwares. Like Target just popped up, and I'm like, "Ooh, that's dope." But for the most part, that's why I said I've been sitting on MicroStrategy and Riot Leaps for at this point a couple years. It's because those are in the Bitcoin space. I've had XLRE, by the way, Leaps that I put out there, on all this is documented. XLRE for a while. When XLRE was trading for under $30, XLRE is now in the 40s. That's the real estate market. Although right now I'm thinking about maybe shorting it, but that's another story. I haven't really done a full analysis of that yet. But real estate, Bitcoin, and a couple large cap companies that pop up here and there. I don't mess with like penny stocks or anything like that. I don't do that. I haven't really done futures. Haven't really gotten to Forex, right? I don't think it's like from a standpoint of I wouldn't be able to do it, but I like to keep things simple.
I mean, the question is, do you need to do it though, right? I mean, what's the saying? Master of all things, but
yeah, it's like because technically, even outside of the stock market, like some people trade Bitcoin and things like on Bitcoin exchanges. I don't do that either. I look at a derivative of it on the market, which is MicroStrategy, Riot, sometimes Coinbase. I'll trade those tickers. So I try to keep things relatively simple. And also something that I've been working on, which is crazy, and I know this is going to piss a lot of folks off because they love their computers. Over the last year, and I've said this, I've been working on trying to like figure out strategies where like, and this is where the leaps come into play too, where I could do everything from my cell phone so I can go enjoy life and I don't have to be staring at charts all day. I could set up my order, walk away, and you know what I'm saying, go do whatever it is I do. Don't believe what Kamari says because that's not what I do. But whatever it is I want to do.
I can just trade it, man.
Before you kept with your narrative, I just want to put it out there.
I ain't say nothing.
All right. Hey, Dina, I did a consultation with Dina, man. Dina out here trading soybeans, man. Like.
So how much is the soybean contract? I think that's like $5,000, right?
No, it all depends on what.
Well, the minis. I'm talking about the minis.
The minis is you can trade the minis for a couple $100.
Listen, they're like 1,000. I think they're like 1,000 joints. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Nah, the minis because I was trading futures. I was trading futures with a couple people, and it's not. The thing about that is I couldn't get up at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning every day to trade the futures. But
you know what? That's real though, because I when I was learning Forex with some folks, they're like, "Are we gonna get up for this exchange?" And I'm like,
"Yeah, I'm good at that."
I holler at y'all at 9:30 because
I couldn't get up. Like I could not make myself wake up at 2:30 in the morning.
Oh, that's real. That's real. I appreciate that honesty, bro. That's real because
it's not that I couldn't trade the market. I just couldn't wake myself up to trade it.
Listen, man. I jump up 9:30. I could jump in the chat with Dr. Chaz and we're gonna go Rumble Spy all day, right? You know what I'm saying? I'll just buy a heavier contract.
You can punch Spy in the face all day.
Listen, I'll just betray higher contracts, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm seeing a lot of things that are consolidating to either sell off or move back up on my charts. So the one that I like though is Square puts.
Okay.
I like Square puts. Put some time on it.
To answer your question,
out to Mark.
And sorry, I was answering the question. I'm sorry, Core. Yeah, they do it for both. Like they be up like that. That's what they do. Like for some folks, that's what they do for a living. So they for them, it's like just part of going to work.
But because the thing about it is the trader that I was trading with, she made like 30 racks a day. So like literally like.
And that's the thing. That's something else too, man. This is another Black Wealth conversation. Like we could take to a different show, but that's the other thing too. Like when you start to realize exactly what you need versus like just being greedy, you don't chase after every dollar, right? Because we're in communities of traders. Like we have a and we talked about this on Friday. Like sometimes we forget that what happens within our circle is not the real world. But within our circle, we got some of the best traders, some of the best investors, some of the best real estate developers. And so like we're around people in finance all day. And when you're around that, you'll see people who do make money in various ways. And one of our brothers in our community, Jalil Kinsey, was like, he made an excellent point. Like being in our community, a lot of times you find yourself trying to chase the next thing instead of focusing on what you're good at.
Yep.
Right. And because you see somebody over here, like Corey said, they're doing futures and they just made 30 grand in one day. And you're like, I gotta go do that. But that's not what you do.
Don't chase shiny objects. Don't chase shiny objects.
The crazy part is she showed me the strategy, gave it like literally, here, take it. And then, but I couldn't use it for anything else besides that specific thing because her strategy was set up to trade one ticker at a specific time, either up or down, depending upon the trigger. And so she would literally just wait for the trigger. And as soon as she get the alert to trigger, she would enter the trade. And then as soon as she get her alert to come out of the trade, she would come out of it. And she would wake up at like 2:30 and she'd be done by 4. But I'm like, bro.
She has her system that works for her. And that's kind of like what we're getting to overall. Find your system that works for you.
I couldn't do it.
My system is simple as hell. Mean reversion trading, and I'm looking at leaps. Daily, me and Spy going Rumble.
Also like coin puts right now too. Even though Bitcoin running off like the plug, I see consolidation. So can I bring my chart back up?
It's already up, ain't it?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure. I'm not on that screen. I'm on the actual screen.
I got you.
Coin is at. So coin, as you can see, my red line comes in, and we start to see that consolidation where it starts to go. When that red line come in, it start to go the opposite direction of wherever it was going. And so I'm seeing that consolidation right here, and I don't think it's going to dip forever, but I think in the near future, coin about to take a header.
All right, man. We're giving away too much sauce now, Corey.
All right. My fault.
We gotta chill, man. It's past 11 o'clock. We've been here for a minute. By the way, if you're in blackwealthrebels.com, if you're in the Patreon, this Sunday show, we talk about specific contracts, stocks, and things like that will only be available to you coming soon. We probably do maybe one more that's on the open YouTube channel and all that, but we're going to move this back just for the folks within the village. And possibly even like Dom and Dina, y'all in the village, we're gonna bring y'all on to talk about some of the stuff y'all looking at in terms of soybeans and all that. Y'all gotta teach us, teach us the game, Ghost. You know what I'm saying? What we're doing with Black Wealth Rebels is a true community. So it's not even gonna just be us up here yelling at y'all all the time. We want to have y'all on too, sharing y'all expertise, experience, live life experience and all that. Dr. Chaz already knows she's definitely coming on because Dr. Chaz is a legend in our community. So that's a done deal.
A done.
Yeah, that's a done deal. You know what I mean? And she be helping me rumble Spy every day. We be rolling on Spy and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Spy. Listen, man, Spy is the ops, man.
Yo, I like this right here. I like this too. Going the other way. I'm sorry. Like I'm just looking at these charts. Like I see money out here. I see dead people.
Yo, so a lot of folks be online thinking like they got ops. I don't have no ops. My ops is the IRS and Spy. Like those my only every day. Other than that, man, I love all y'all, man. Just Spy and the IRS. I got beef with. That's it.
Man, listen.
I mean, and Kamari helped me run with the IRS, so that's my brother right there too. So
as you can see, I got the spot gold joint still up here on my chart.
Mm-hmm.
You see, after that consolidation, it went up. It started to consolidate.
To execute that, would you trade GLD or how would you do it?
I would just trade either GLD. It's a lot of derivatives of gold.
I like GLD for the volume, GLD, father part.
Trading probably GLD.
Yeah, GLD, Father Part 3, QBC, Sit Blind. My fault.
But yeah,
My fault, y'all. A little Mobb Deep flashback. I apologize. I'm stuck in the 90s hip hop.
they made my favorite album of all time, so I'll never be mad at them.
What up, Black? Hold your head wherever you at. All right, listen, y'all. We've been here for a minute. So I don't know how y'all did it last week, Core. Are we gonna give an official play that we're gonna run this week, or what we gonna do?
Last week I gave Tarjay as the official. And
I thought Google wasn't the official play last week.
Google was one of the. I gave two. I gave Tarjay and Google last week.
So let's do this. If that's the case, I say right now we're still following Target this week. And again, this is not investment advice. We're talking about what we're looking at this week. I think we're going to be taking real deep looks at Target, right? Position ourselves in Target for a March contract or a leap if you got that kind of bread, right? You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, man. When you get, and Dina said it earlier, when you can position yourself to get multiple leaps, that's where you're really cooking in this market. That's when you start to see how the money is made in this space, like with these leaps, right? And again, when you set your stop losses and if things go against you, you protect yourself, protect that capital. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Spy looked like it. Spy seemed like it's ready too, like it's about to take a dump. Anyway,
which is rising. All right, listen, real quick. Don't forget about Friday's Bitcoin giveaway. Every Friday, we're on our YouTube, Facebook, all over the place, and we're giving away Bitcoin every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got Wealthy Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, we come on and talk about, I don't even know, whatever we want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I feel like me and Kamar need to have an online debate about who got the best opening lines in hip-hop, but, maybe we'll say that for the Patreon.
Gotta be behind the paywall, yeah.
Yeah. We gotta have debate though. It's something we gotta bring to the table.
You can't get my hip hop opinions for free.
You know what I'm saying? So Wealthy Wednesdays, Freedom Fridays, Sunday Playbook, those are the things. And be on the lookout too, because me and Kamari are gonna work on a special series for those who may be inclined, right? We're gonna bring all of our loves to the Black Wealth Rebels. We have a lot of different loves, right? Despite Kamari's narrative, that's not my love.
What, the ladies of the night? I'm just saying.
So one of the things that me and Kamari talk about. So me and Kamari be on sometimes when Kamari call me, I'm like, all right, I got to put aside an hour because me and Kamari are gonna be on the phone for at least an hour. A lot of times, 99% of the time, it's about Black wealth, right? But there's a small percentage of the time where me and Kamari are talking about ratchet novels, right? And when I say ratchet novels, I'm really being facetious. We talk about.
I don't do anything ratchet.
Crime novels, I'll say, or street lit as they do it.
That's a lot.
I told him, listen, Kamari loves street lit probably more than me at this point, right?
But I was introduced to it by Jimmy.
I introduced you to Ashley and Jaquavis, who are some of the greatest writers of this century. That's all. And
I love their story. All jokes aside, yeah, some of the stuff is ratchet, but listen, every part of our life isn't clean and pristine. So
you're not.
And so I don't mind the ratchetness or the blackness or the hoodness or any of that.
Listen, let me tell y'all something. Ashley and Jaquavis are some of the greatest writers to ever exist. Right? I'll put that on the record because I am a huge fan of their body of work. I'm a real estate and finance nerd, and I love their work because some of that's even incorporated in there. Like main man who got all the equity in the pharmaceutical company. I'm not sure if you read that book. I ain't gonna tell you. We can talk about that offline. But they are some of the greatest writers. And me and Kamari, we'd be having conversations about it because that's actually Black wealth too. Literature and being able to put out your own body of work, like write books. That's Black culture. That's Black wealth. But we want to have conversations about it and dig deep into that part of the Black wealth, which is Black literature. We love books. If you guys listen to any of our shows, Wednesday, Friday. I don't think we have ever jumped on air together, guys, and even in person, and at least one book hasn't been mentioned.
At least one?
At least one.
I would say at least five.
Today's show was supposed to be about what we're looking at in this upcoming week in the market, and I gave y'all a book called Intrinsic by Mike Wynn. If anybody wants the link to the book, hit me up. I sent it to you because I don't know this dude. First of all, I've been trying to find him online. He has no digital footprint. I just found his book because I was doing some research. And in the research, I came up with his book. I read his book, and it's one of the greatest options book I've ever read, right? And I've been looking for it, and because I can't find him, I actually believe that it might be Nancy Pelosi's pen name. Because because when I look at his strategy that he wrote about, and I look at how she trades, it's very similar. So that's my working theory.
The Pelosi playbook.
I don't know if it's true. You know what I'm saying? It's my working theory, but shout to
She
Mike.
actually ain't that good though. Well, her husband isn't really that good though.
Well, it depends, right? Because the thing about making the plays that she makes, and if you look at her rate of return is up there. She's not the best in the market because there's a couple people in Congress who beat her. But she's up there, bro. She's doing better numbers than the guy who considered the greatest investor of all time. If you
like 70%, bro.
You track return over the last decade is better than some of the people that are considered the greatest.
Listen, man, you doing 70% on insider trading.
Now again, I'm not co-signing that. I think it's wild. But the numbers are the numbers. Like, whether she's cheating to do it, that's none of my business. It's above my pay grade. Anyway, so we even bought a book up then. But me and Kamar
bring the books, man.
Yeah, so we're gonna do some for those that are into that kind of thing, man, because everybody into that. And by the way, I call them crime novels because I feel like our folks, our melanated people, we get put in this box where there's no difference between what Mario Puzo does and what Ashley and Jaquavis do, other than how people call it. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
He was telling the stories of his youth and childhood.
Listen, man, Dr. Chaz told you, man, I got 2 ops, spy and the I and the R and the S. And I probably shouldn't say it online because
I'm about to say you wildin', bro.
Listen, man, I got my bodyguard right there. That's my IRS bodyguard, like right over here, man. Hey, for those who don't know, Kamari Ellis is an EA, which isn't an easy thing to get. He is a tax professional. He's a tax expert. He does myself, my wife, my businesses. All that goes to Kamari. So for those looking for tax help, I don't know if you're looking for clients, bro. So I ain't mean to put you out there like that because Kamari be firing clients. So I don't know if he's looking for clients, but
I'm looking for the right client. Things are about to change, but yeah, I'm looking for clients.
And I promise you, Kamari, this year I'm gonna turn into a better client for you. I'm going to because I'm probably one of the people. He probably subbing me by saying that, Core.
No. Nope. Actually, nope.
I'm getting better. I promise you, bro.
Get ready for the pause button. You ready? Because I'm gonna be on your ass.
Hey, yo. What's up, man? Ant, you joined us late, but you still here. What's good with you, man?
Go back and watch the replay.
Yeah, we talked about all kinds of fly stuff, man. I showed some of the fly software I'm working on.
I'm ordering Wingstop right now, y'all. Just so y'all know.
Hey, by the way, Wingstop was one of the best performing stocks over the last couple of years. And for those who don't know that,
it's funny. I don't really like their food that much, though.
Yo, their food is actually way overrated.
Yes.
Way overrated.
But I mean, if that's all you got, then you gotta get what you gotta get.
Yo, but I'm gonna tell you this though. I often wonder this, right? So William Roberts, because I ain't calling him that other man's name.
Rouse.
Fill somebody's whole name.
Rouse.
I wondered like his marketing of Wingstop, right? And I know he owns franchises, but I also often wonder whether he owns equity. There was a black man that he owned in Philadelphia who owned a couple he owned a couple franchises, right? And in fact, one of the franchises, he used to own Primos on Ridge Avenue. He owned a couple equity in McDonald's and things like that. And I got
a couple of black men in Philly, at least 2 that I know of.
Yeah, well, the shout out to my brother Andre. His wife, her father owns all the joints on Broad Street. But anyway, he was telling me before. He was talking about McDonald's. He had owned equity in McDonald's before, and he was saying that after paying staff, after overhead and all the things, he was like, yo, I made more money by the money that I was putting in the market with McDonald's shares than I did owning the actual business. And he said that kind of gave him a perspective like, all right, I got to figure out a different way to operate his own business, right? And I'm only bringing that conversation up because I often wondered, like with him owning physical locations, does he own? Hopefully. He talks about business on his raps all the time. Hopefully, he owns equity, and I wonder whether he would have performed better with the equity versus. Kamari, pull up Wingstop's chart if you can.
I'm already on it.
Share it real quick.
Hold on.
Because that conversation I had with that gentleman was like it was eye opening for me because a lot of times we look at these like these fast food places and we think like the person owning this is making a bunch of money because they have traffic. Yo, they be making like $125,000 a year. Not that it's nothing wrong with that. Net. Yeah, but it's nothing wrong with that. It's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that
they think franchise owner and they're thinking millions.
That's also a volume game, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it is. because there are some franchise owners. Like I know the McDonald's at Broad and Diamond used to make millions.
They probably had to pay that on security though.
Yeah,
The let out.
Look at this on pull this up on if you can, Kamari, on a yearly chart, 12-month chart. Because I know they was like, I was watching that stock and I'm like, why is Wingstop going crazy? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Damn. Look at that. Look at that growth. Look at that growth for mid-ass food.
Whoa. I know you ain't talking, bro. You eat Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, hold on. First of all, it's Sunday, so you gotta be
about to have a fight. We about to have a fight.
Gotta talk about God's food.
Wait a minute, Jimmy.
Wingstop has better food than Chick-fil-A?
Wait a minute, Jimmy. Hold on, Corey. You gonna say that them racist people got God food?
Oh. Yeah, that was Kamari.
Listen,
that was Kamari.
I'm asking the question.
I'm talking about the blessed food. I'm not talking about the people.
Listen, shout out to the sister. Shout out to the sister who's got a.
And that's the only one I go to now. I stopped going to all the rest of them. See, this is a Black wealth conversation. There's a sister in Philadelphia who opened up her own Chick-fil-A on Ceylon Avenue.
She got like 3 of them now.
She do? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they just did a feature on them.
I didn't see that. You sure? Where other one's at?
She got one in like Cherry Hill and somewhere like she got like 3 in the tri-state area.
Oh, you gotta send me that article because since she's open, I haven't been to any other Chick-fil-A. I've been to the one on Ceylon Avenue. I stopped going to the other ones because
Jimmy's actually sad.
With that being said, that's me supporting the Black ladies' business. And
he's like, I'm the #1 Chick-fil-A fan.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm supporting the Black ladies' business. Now, these Wingstops we talk about, Corey. Listen, man. First of all, if their fries is too greasy, they tear your stomach up. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, that's not what we're here for. There. Anyway, this has been another excellent episode of the Sunday Playbook. We went off the rails as we always do when we get on here. But remember, every Sunday, if you're in the community, blackwealthrebels.com, we're going to come and talk about the upcoming week in the markets, what we're looking at, long-term holds, options plays, and all the above. Anthony says, I remember when I used to work at H&R Block, and I had a client who had a trash bag full of receipts a week before the last day. I wanted to punch him in the mouth. Kamari, knows what I mean.
So I didn't know Anthony was an accountant, but shout out to you because he's right. I do know what he means. I've been through it. It's very frustrating. But
I'm not that bad. I don't send Kamari receipts, but I will send him a spreadsheet on the last minute. I'm last minute boy.
No. But I mean, I wanted to talk. I do. Maybe we'll do it another time, right? But we're talking about businesses versus stock. Yes. The businesses are great to kick off cash flow. Mm-hmm. The stocks initially are not. And so you got to kind of position it for what's best for the stage of wealth or life you're in, mm-hmm. and then work for it. So the business can throw off cash and then you can invest it into the market.
Well, and that was his actual, that's the conclusion he came to. But he was giving me game though. He was older than me. Yeah. And it was funny because we just got into a conversation. He had transitioned from like the fast food to Primos, which is still kind of like, I guess like a little bit casual fast food, whatever you want to call it. And hey, Shira, how are you? Shira Banks, not Tyra, but Shira. You know what I'm saying? I was rooting for you. Anyway, listen, that was a Tyra Banks quote, by the way. But his conclusion, Kamari, was exactly what you just said, but he was giving me the game. This was years ago. I don't even think he still owns the Primos, but it's the one on Ridge Avenue. And he was working behind the counter, and we just got into talking. And, I told him I was into, got to know investing, talk and all that. So once we got into that conversation, that's when he was telling me, he was like, investing is where true wealth lies. He was like, even owning franchises, he was like, I found myself making more money by taking the cash flow and then putting it into equity into the overall company and not just his specific franchise. Because he was talking about McDonald's and how much money McDonald's has made for shareholders over the last several decades. So
they have.
And that was so that was a conversation that I'll never forget because first of all, I was, seeing someone that looks like you owning a bunch of franchises was dope to begin with. I would have never known that unless he told me. And then I went and, of course I didn't trust him because I went and looked him up and I was like, oh shit, like he wasn't lying. Yeah. But because he was working behind the counter, he was still in the trenches with his people.
But Shira, so listen, anybody who's in Black Wealth Rebels definitely gets a consultation with me. We had to figure that out. I'm not sure which level it is.
Yeah, we have different levels.
But yes, because here's the thing, and Jimmy knows this. If you're not serious about your taxes, All this trading is for naught. It doesn't matter.
These are facts.
Because the IRS will eat up all your money real quick.
And that's another. And speaking of, on Friday, we talked about the power of some of the accounts that some of these people online be hating on, like the raw 401k and IRA. If you jump behind there and trade, another little, let Kamari tell you all that, because I am not a tax professional.
We can all talk about it, but
I am a real estate and Bitcoin professional.
It really makes sense to get your tax game together, because there's so many things you can do. I mean, at some point, even some of us might even want to look at becoming active traders, because the tax advantages for that is crazy. But yes, anybody who is a member of the paid tier for Black Wealth Rebels definitely gets a tax consultation.
Hey, I can consult about real estate and Bitcoin, because that's all I know.
And I do educational outcomes for children and for adults. So we can consult on anything you need, and we can have a consult on your trading styles and all of that stuff. So we can consult on a lot of things.
Yes.
All right, so shout out to Anthony. Anthony says he's a tax preparer. I haven't involved yet. Listen, come on, man. We need you.
Yes, we do.
I say this all the time. I feel the tax preparer, not the tax person, but the tax preparer is the first line of financial defense in our community. They're all needed. They are all needed. All the good ones.
And I think that anybody in the finance space is needed. And it's funny because I got a comment after Friday's show, and they were like, you kept saying that all these folks are needed. That's kind of like, your competition. I'm like, not really, because
we all do different things.
Not only do we all do, even if we do the same thing, right?
It's different stuff.
There's so many people.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, because of our bubbles again, we don't realize how many people out there don't have the information, who are struggling, don't have the knowledge, don't know where to go, don't know what to do. We need more soldiers out here fighting the fight, right? Finance is a big part of everything. Even if you're someone who's like anti-capitalist, like this, you got to understand that we're still being attacked from a financial standpoint. So we need soldiers in the battlefield fighting, whether that's talking about tax, whether that's talking about real estate, whether that's talking about trading, whether that's talking about Bitcoin, whether that's talking about any asset class, gold. I don't care what it is. We need people who are out here helping our folks that look like us be prepared for what's happening financially. We gotta work on our finances. We gotta support Black business. These are things that are imperative. This isn't right now something that you can just do for fun. It's a call to action. So we need more people fighting. Me, Corey, Kamari, not going to reach the world. The world got billions of people.
But what kind of people do we need, though, Jimmy?
We need clean glass people, right?
What's clean glass, Jimmy?
I'm saying, I'm gonna tell you, right?
This is what y'all do, man. Y'all running into my football time, man.
Hey, listen, man. Core, I'm a blatherskite, especially when Kamari's up there. He activates my blatherskite in the call.
I don't know how I got pulled into that.
We stopped talking about options like 20 minutes ago.
All right, we getting out of here. Last thing I'll say is this, right? The clean glass community is this. We need people that have integrity, that are really about operating from a standpoint of culture, that love their folks and are not just in it for a dollar. Because some people are in it just to make money. And some people always extract. And some people never give back. And I think that's problematic, right? I talk about this in my real estate classes all the time. There's a difference between being a real estate developer and being a real estate speculator. A real estate developer looks out for the community, gives jobs to the community, like actually puts value into the community, as opposed to just someone who just comes in, buys something, does nothing just to extract value. So we don't want people that are just here to extract value from the community. We want people that are actually able to help the community grow and to help people, because you can make money like doing both, right? So why not help people while making money? But I'm chilling right now because Corey is right. I got to go to Lowe's. I got to go buy a new stove and refrigerator for a property. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's what that is.
All right, let me respond real quick. So, Dina, I got you. Just come into the group. I'll set up a dedicated link just for Black Wealth Rebel folks. And I got you. And Anthony, it's not just getting taxes done. This is a little pet peeve of mine. Getting taxes done is like the low-hanging fruit. It's actually being intentional and developing a plan for your taxes, because we're all getting beat over the head with taxes. And we got to figure out ways to lower that bill so we can redistribute that income and wealth to things we really enjoy and need. That's all I got.
Kamari is not lying. I went to lunch with Kamari a couple weeks ago, right? So I got a new investment property that someone's actually moving into tomorrow. And I was just having a conversation with him. I wasn't even asking for advice. You know what I'm saying? You know, we was at a black-owned restaurant just busting a grub. And he gave me a strategy on that property that's going to save me tremendously, like just in conversation.
What did I say? I don't remember.
I'm not putting it out there online, man, because, you know.
Why not? Why not? Everybody can't do it. Listen, man, all the information's out there. I don't care about sharing, but go ahead.
He gave me a strategy about a property that, you know, we rent in the family and all that. And that's all I'm going to say. And
all right. Yeah.
So
I forgot.
But I'm saying, like, that one conversation was a lot deeper than just saying, yo, Kamari, do my taxes. It's like, you know, now, you know, that's my brother. My brother's the person that does my so I get these conversations, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he don't even realize how much I probably should be paying him, because we just have regular conversations. But on the flip side, I'm about to make Kamari a Bitcoiner over the next year. So, you know, it is what it is. Like, you know,
listen, I need that like right now, because I'm trying to retire to the islands to go to Africa. So
yeah, Richard Islands. But listen though, y'all, we love y'all. We'll be here next Sunday, 10 a.m. Go to blackwealthrebels.com. Make sure to join the village. And this week we're gonna work on getting some conversation going back there as I you know, Rumble Spy. I'm gonna put some of the information back there. So we love y'all. Next Sunday, 10 a.m. You know, another Sunday playbook, Wednesday, Wealthy Wednesdays, Friday, Freedom Fridays, and, you know, everything in between. Stats to die trying. Next episode will also be in a Patreon before it hits YouTube. So that's also at blackwealthrebels.com. And that is the Bitcoin podcast for those that are interested in that. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Please stay safe out there during the holiday season, because holiday seasons are crazy. And if we don't talk to y'all again before the holidays, happy holidays for those that celebrate. For those that don't celebrate, we love y'all too. But see y'all then. Peace.
Peace.
Peace and black power.